Good evening and welcome to the first live stream in a very, very long time. I'm still kind of setting things up, so hopefully you can hear me. It's been a long 8 months since I've appeared on the screen. Well, on the screen and alive. So I'm gonna be super rusty. And in that time, I've drank, I've retired from Whiskey Tube, I've been back with a vengeance, slapped some bottles and been again blown away by the whiskey community. Thank you all for turning up and joining in tonight. I haven't yet got the screen where I can see if anyone's here. Maybe there's one or two of you. Either way, that's great. Tonight, I'm going to chat about what I've been doing, what's on the horizon, discussions around some latest whiskey news. And then I'm going to be talking about 2 peated bottles, a bit of peat on peat. So with that, I'm going to catch a breath, get ready for some talking. And as a wise man once said, I'll see you in a second.
Jeff Whisky.
So yes, I am back and I'm streaming. I can see there is comments coming in. Well, I can't see them, but I'm getting a notification appearing somehow on my screen. I'm super professional at this. But yes, the pre-pub is back. A very unofficial warm-up for early birds while we're waiting for something exciting. I've seen that I'm looking incredibly in the shadows tonight. Not on purpose, but I'll roll with it. If you can see me, or if you can't see me, or if you can't hear me, do let me know. I think I can kind of see a chat now. We'll see how it goes. Thanks so much for turning in. Let's dive into that chat if I can get it to work. Ignore any mouse clicks you may hear. Right, comments, here we go. So, thank you for being here. Alan Smith, flashing any flesh tonight or just whiskey? I'm flashing enough flesh. I've learnt my lesson from that last one. YouTube had a word with me. I'm making sure to button up. But there's some flash whiskey at least. PEATED, great to have you here. May the peat be with you. And you. Got plenty of peat on the go tonight. Gav's Drams, great to see you here. Rob Halford, Whiskey and Wine Trails. Is that a beer in your pocket? Thank you for coming. Gerben, Johnny, Wraith, loads of people. So thank you for turning up and tuning into this. I hope this is enjoyable. We'll see. Thomas Jones, Donna Pass Whiskey, Graham Brown. This is amazing. That's so many of you. Johnny saying loud and clear. I'm very glad to hear that. I've currently got a huge light over here. You can see it in the reflection, like an old ring light. And I've got a big halogen light in front of me, which clearly is not working. I could try adjust it, but it'll probably get worse. So we'll stick with it for now. I've got a little video animation I can play when things go really wrong. Whiskey Wings, great to see you. Did someone say peat? Yes, Ben. I said peat. I've got 2 peated bottles. I've been nursing one as I've been getting ready. And it's really tickling my pickle. I am aware. I do say that phrase a lot, and I don't know how universal that phrase is. It does mean if something's like my jam, I'm enjoying it. Nothing like other picklesque. Johnny, I think I've said you, but you've been mentioned twice. Again, thank you for coming in. This is amazing, joining me along this ramble tonight. And I think we could try. I'm currently just battling with some windows on my laptop. I really got rusty at this. See if I can just quickly zoom out. I feel like I need some music on. Wait there. I have prepared for this. I knew this was going to happen. There we go. That's a bit better. Hope you enjoyed the spinning goose. I've just seen, is that a beer in your pocket saying you look better in that light? Yeah, I can't argue with that. I'm the kind of person who's got a face for radio and a voice for silent movies. So yeah, I think I'll dive in a bit more. Thank you all for being here. Where's Roy coming in calling pre-VPubbers? Yep, that is the target audience. I did check with Roy if he's happy for me to put like an unofficial pre-pub, but I know I'm always pumped for the VPub. And there's that strange bit of time after once I've got the child to bed and that strange lull before the VPub. And in truth, I can't handle the late nights. So it's quite great to kind of get my chat in with everyone, then enjoy Roy's, and then I can kind of go off to bed and then listen on to it as I fall asleep to his lovely, beautiful tones. Like we all do, yeah? That's not weird. But yeah, I'm going to kind of fly through what I've done. I've had a few people ask me like what I'm doing with Jeff Whisky because it has changed a bit lately. Yeah, so I did prepare some slides. Like, you know, that nerdy kid at school, that was always me. Not very good at school, but I tried. So hopefully you can see that all okay. I'm quickly just going to fly through what I've done. Hopefully it tickles your pickle. Quigor getting ready for school, and not you getting ready for school, because if that's the case, this is the wrong channel. But I'm glad you're getting your kids ready to school. Hope they have a good drop off. I'm on the school run as well myself these days, and it's both brilliant and exhausting. But yeah, so what I've been up to. So first, I've got to start off with the elephant in the room. I haven't got Bell's palsy again. I'm not the elephant man, but I did announce maybe, well, it was back in December. I took a step back. It all got a bit quiet. I just couldn't managing it all, if that makes sense. So I kind of had to take a step back from Whiskey Tube. And then with it being quiet, I released this video in February because I just wanted to put something out. Just wanted to say, you know, why it's quiet. Thanks for all the support. But in truth, I was bitten by the bug. I was itching to come back. I missed the chat, the slap, just all of it. And I've made so many notes and like video ideas and just like jotting down daft clips when I watch TV shows, and then I had to use them. So yeah, I'm back at a slower pace, just loving it. So thank you, John. As you can see, words are already failing me, but thank you for joining me on this ride. So flying through. This was a fun one. The real cost of whiskey, like how much I spent on whiskey. Stuart Whiskey Whims got his coin here covering my first dram of the night. He did his video and his figure is very different to mine. Whiskey and Wine Trails, just when I thought I was out. See, that was one of the ones I've only just seen that film and I had to note that down. And it's very apt for me in Whiskey Tube. So yeah, Stuart did his video and his figure is very different to mine. We've all got different budgets. We're all in the same whiskey ocean, but we're all in different boats. So I thought it'd be fun, be transparent and just show you don't have to spend a large chunk of money. You can spend a much smaller amount and still get a lot out of whiskey. It's also nice to be transparent and show where this little slice of YouTube money goes and where the wonderful support of the Bottle Slap Pub goes. So hopefully you enjoyed that. You can skip this one. People enjoyed when I did it in Bristol and Glasgow as I went up to the GWF, Glasgow Whisky Festival. I should have just said that. But yeah, so I quickly filmed it. Is what it is. Top 10 Scotch distilleries. Again, a real fun one. If I'm flying too fast, let me know. But I also this feels very self-indulgent. I planned this and thought, yeah, this will be fine. This is people kind of like to hear the backstory, but in truth, it's very much all about me. And people don't come here for that. But yeah, this video, a real fun one. I made this one like in principle to not just like be like an ode to Dramface and like praise it, because I love Dramface, and while I'm a very small part of Dramface, it's much bigger than me. And yeah, I just wanted to point people to the top 40 form because the more people who enter it, the more like spread out the answers get and like the real gold can rise to the top. I've seen GWhisky done a very similar video now, and that will certainly send more folks than I to the form. So I look forward to seeing the next update on Drowned Face. If none of you have, well, if you're watching me, I'm sure you have. But yeah, do make sure you fill out the top 40 Scotch distilleries form, and then I'm sure they'll be doing an update soon. So yeah, the reason I did this video as well, because I don't know how people feel about list videos. They're fun to do and it's a good thinker, but also I don't know if people would rather see actual reviews of the whiskey or, yeah, so do let me know your onions on that. Quite a few more names dropping in. Hell's Weird, great to see you. Where are they? Sugar Kitty, Meow Meow. I can't keep up with this. Ben Demon Hunter. I think I said you, but again, thank you again for being here. But yeah, this is what the Bottle Slap community. So I always put a poll out to them. So they're the YouTube channel members and they kind of dictate what they would like to see. This one won by a mile. And yeah, if you want more list videos, do let me know, like in the chat or in the comments. I'll try see it. But you know, I'll do my best. So yeah, that flies through. That's enough of what I've actually put out. Oh no, I'm lying to you. There's the top 5 Islay. Again, another list video. Great fun. Yeah, I don't think I need to talk about it. We know what my jam is. But I'm working on what people's comments are and what people are putting out for it. But yeah, I'll get to that later. So then I've also been really lucky. I've been on 2 VPubs, the blind challenge, the Christmas one with Roy, where I was representing Team Drowned Face won. No thanks to me. And then possibly the most fun I've had on a VPub was the 5 whiskeys, like 5 whiskey challenge, was it? And I just hammed it up, but yeah, cracking stuff. And then I've got to mention the Whiskey Tube roundtables. These were just brilliant. Like, if you've not seen them, so they're created by Vin, No Nonsense Whiskey, and these have just been great to do. And there's been lots of positive feedback. I've been really selfish and I've snuck in on all of them so far. So I am very much the lucky one. Thank you, everyone else who's coming in as well. Great to see you here. Thank you for joining the pre-pub. Rob there. Christmas Blind was a team effort. Yeah, Team Drowned Face for the win. We're all winners, to be fair. I was lucky because I could have both been Team Drowned Face and Team YouTube. So Roy messaged and like, could you be the ringer? Either side drops out, I can slot in. Resist the urge to say that's what she said because I'm an adult. But yeah, the whiskey roundtable, like the second one was mad because it just had loads of people just dropping in, lots of whiskey tubers from around the world. The blind tasting was brilliant. I was hoping to beat Roy, kind of get a bit of revenge, but sadly, of course, Roy was Roy. He won. It was since when? Since maybe 5 minutes ago. I'm trying to bring maturity with this channel. This, you know, the shirts and the shades really scream I'm a grown-up. Thank you, Tobias. It's fun seeing me pop up. Yeah, I feared people would get bored of seeing me. Like, I've been really lucky to be invited onto so many things, and I don't know why. So yeah, it's been an absolute banger of a ride. And then the Christmas special, not Christmas special. It felt a bit like Christmas, chatting with Rob from the Cotswolds, because I don't hide my love for that distillery. But yeah, it was great fun. Really enjoyed just kind of going through English whiskey, talking about the future of it, talking about Cotswolds. Rob was really transparent, and like I asked him what I feared was quite a painful question. Was maybe what was it? Oh yeah, so Bezos, old Amazon, was selling Cotswold Signature for like £24 or something, which is crazy cheap. I think it's like retails at 35. And Rob was saying how damaging that could have been to the brand. So sometimes Amazon and is it Morrison's or Sainsbury's, when these supermarkets decide they want to clear stock, other companies can then see that as a chance to haggle for lower prices. So when when Sainsbury's or Morrison's, whoever it was, dropped their price, he was implying like, other companies who would normally sell it say, well, this brand is selling off at this price. Can you kind of like match that? Which is something I've never really thought about. But yeah, that was a great roundtable. That one was hosted by Ben, Scotch photographer. I'm hoping he's going to put a video out soon, but it was great him hosting. And I am hosting the next one. PEATED, yep, I'll be hosting a roundtable next. I think it's going to be the end of this month, the last Tuesday of the month. I don't know if I can give much away. I'm sure I can. I'm sure there's not many people tuning in, but a few wonderful select few. The plan is to do similar to what Roy did, where he gamified the 5-bottle challenge. I'm going to gamify that. Well, this is the plan, the 1 bottle per region challenge. So that was a video I put out a while back, and everyone has to pick 1 bottle from each region, and then they've got to vote who wins. So maybe it'll be me who's the decider, the judge on the day, or I see if I can do polls like Roy done. But yeah, I've got a few names of people who already signed up. Some people you may know, some people you may not. As I use StreamYard, I am limited the amount of people. So I think maybe I can have 6, including me. I'm not sure. I'm currently paying that. I paid tonight for the premium StreamYard, so hopefully you're seeing me in a bit better quality. But I don't blame you if you don't want to see me in better quality. Where did I get to? That was a mistake clicking that button, wasn't it? PEATED, I'll be on Islay by the end of the month, so not there to support you. I'm grateful for the support you do. You'll be having a much nicer time on Islay than you would. Are you going for Shiel? Is that how you pronounce it? But I'll be coming to that in a second. Of course, I had a great stream with Kevin Grant on Whiskey, or as he's now known as Let's Talk Whiskey. So it was wonderful chatting with him. We had good conversation at the Glasgow Whisky Festival. He wanted a rebrand. And I was like, yeah, let me know. I'd love to help you. I've been very fortunate. I've managed to get my kind of design hands on quite a few areas of Whiskey Tube. So some things you may see and I'll be like, yeah, that's me. So I've done a few thumbnails, a few icons, a couple of t-shirt designs. So yes, that's really cool. Got distracted, but yeah, great fun dealing with Kevin, and I love his idea for Let's Talk Whiskey. And so that was real fun, rebrand to do with him. All of his ideas, and I based it on his current logo. The colors kind of gave it a bit more saturation, a bit more oomph. But yeah, oh yes, it is a great freeze frame on Kevin. I purposely selected that because he looks like he's really enjoying a dram, maybe a bit too much, and I just look like a knockoff Terminator. So yeah, I'm sure he'll enjoy that screenshot. So yeah, great honor helping him out with that. The logo is it's meant to be kind of like the microphone podcast icon, and then with obviously a Glencairn in there, or a Glencairn adjacent glass. Avoid that copyright. PEATED, yep, joining for Shield. Lucky man, Alan. That was a great freeze frame, Kevin. Yep. PEATED, we've met in real life. That's the best way to see me. That's very kind. But you also did, when you did meet me, Frank, you also had a good injury. So that was probably you in a day seeing me. Klitz, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I hope I'm saying that right. I was just thinking the stream was looking particularly fancy. Yeah, so there's I can have video backgrounds. I can zoom in and out, which is what nobody wants. So yeah, I can even add background music, which I think was meant to be playing, but I can't hear it. If it is playing, let me know. I don't know. 10 out of 10 for professionalism. If this was a video, I'll have to chuck in a clip there to kind of balance it out. So yeah, and then if people are interested, feel free to have a gander of what I've got coming up. Some things are being brought to the top. Some things are kind of been working on for a while. Got quite a few people saying they would like a best bang for buck price range. I mentioned this in a last video, and it's just, yeah, what do you think is the best price point? I did it in £20 increments, I think. or like in the €25 increments or $25 increments, I think it was, to kind of try to balance it out. But yeah, it was great to hear people's thoughts on that. So that's coming soon. I won't go for the rest of them. If any of them you think you would like to see, do let me know, and I'll try like bump up to the top. But finally, the sign I've been waiting to see. There's like 40 people in here, so that's awesome. I'm just gonna grab a quick drink. I wasn't ready for this amount of talking. Yeah, that is a very strange drink. So let's dive in. I've been rambling for 20 minutes. Apologies for that. Let's talk peat and let's talk about whiskey. And that one is Siren Bay 18, 54.7% heavily peated Highland whiskey. So Roy did talk about this one. See if I can get the right camera angle. Okay, I got a second camera, but that's not working, so that's fine. So this very good looking bottle, we all know Roy talked about it on, can't remember what that one was. It wasn't the last live stream, was it? It was maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. But yeah, so this dropped £49. So a peated Highland, 18-year-old under 50 quid. Rude not to. This broke my bottle ban. And speaking of broke, I am very much broken-hearted because when I last opened this, I've torn the tail. So I'm sure that's not a sign. Ben Demon Hunter, heavily peated Highland. Yeah, that's what lured me in. So there was many talks of, this is Lecheg. A few people said this is Talisker. And a couple of people said that, it is a Talisker because in their marketing, they do a nod. Is it made by the sea? Is like Talisker's catchphrase. And in their marketing, they had that. So I was like, I love Talisker. Love Lecheg. And then I've also heard rumors that this is a peated Noctu, like a real wild card, which I've got nothing to compare that to. But other people have bought this. So if you do know, let me know. But yeah, the nose is hearty. I did think this was leaning more towards Talisker. I feel like I should definitely put some background music on while I'm sniffing. No one wants to hear that. But if it is too loud or if it is rubbish, do let me know. But yeah, that's really hearty, really earthy, really dirty. Helen saying, enjoying our bottle, Fab Valley for 50 quid, only a few drams left. You're doing much better than me. I think this is 4 drams for me because I like to use the little tiny cups. And then my hands look like actual size with the glasses. Greg, indie bottling then by who? So this is, I don't know if the camera will catch that. Oh, where is it? Can you see it there? It's not going to get it, it's seeing my face, but it's Atom Labs. So that's owned by Atom Labs, is part of Atom Brand, and Atom Brand is part of Astro Malt. So I think they do ship worldwide, so I don't know if you'll be able to get a bottle of it, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's very muddy smelling on the nose. Okay, tonight, I had kind of some thoughts in my head from other nights. Tonight is just throwing me way off. It's a lot more earthy, more musty, more dirty, more... There is this connotation I have with Highland peat, and I don't know if anyone else has it, but it's Highland peat always tastes a lot less iodine and a lot more like soil on fire, like big chunks of dirt. Yeah, that's actually tonight. That is a lot better than any other night. Maybe it's just like the nerves and pure adrenaline of being on a live stream. Helen, I'd love to see your tasting notes. I've seen them on Instagram, but do drop them in here. Greg, I can do this, can't I? Why haven't I done this before? As you can see, I'm professional. Greg, it was awesome if it's Talisker, but price-wise, it'd be surprising. How about an Ardnahoe? Ardmore is a very good shout. Ardmore, my only experience, I've had one indie, I think, which I can't remember. And then I've had the Ardmore Legacy, and that's a bit like, you know, good for the price, I think, because in the UK you can get it at £22, I think, in supermarkets. But yeah, this is nicer than that. It's definitely got a lot of heavier. I'm really lacking on my notes at the moment, but denser. Okay, got a slight like milky, those like milk bottle sweets. Definitely earthier than Islay. Yeah, completely agree. A mud. Now I want to say, is that Monty Python, or is that, like, I'm showing my youthful age here, but do let me know. Do like a bit of Monty Python. Yeah, this is the highly unclear umbrella that is Master of Malt. So InBev owns Atom Brands. Does InBev own Atom Brands, and then Atom Brands? No, InBev owns Atom's Group. Atom Groups owns Atom Brands. Atom Brands owns Atom Labs. All of them sell in Master of Malt. So yeah, Siren Bay, clear as mud. Atom, a taste of mud. Yeah, but a good mud. Then on Saturday, I had my first drum Ardmore, and it was great on 23 year. Assuming that was an indie, because is there any core release other than Legacy? Um, 20 Greg with a nice 20-year-old Archives Ardmore. Some indies are really great. Yeah, I've not had. It's something I would like to explore. I may have a couple samples in my big sample pit, which I've not got to yet. But yeah, tonight this is really, really tickling my pickle. I wonder what the actual tasting notes is, and see if I could be coerced in that. Oh, the music has just kicked in for me. Is there music for anyone else? If that's too loud or anything, or you want it gone, do let me know. Seinfeld. I've not seen it. I'm aware of all the clips, and I'm aware of Elaine dancing. I've seen that do the rounds. It's one I've always wanted to watch, but I fear it's going to be a bit like Friends. I'm not the biggest fan of Friends. I don't mind it, but you know. Complicated combo indeed. Are you going to the Somerton Whiskey Festival? I wish I was. Yeah, I really wish I was, Martins. If that is how you pronounce it, I hope it is. I loved being part of Somerton. Is it Somerton subscription service? But I did stop that because all my kind of whiskey budget was going to one bottle every 2 months, which I didn't know if it was going to be my jam or not. Sometimes I had bangers, like the Glasgow was fantastic. Really enjoyed the Whiskey Baron release they did with that. The Stalling. There's a few others that are really fantastic, but there was also a couple that I didn't really pick. Just check my pictures. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who takes lots of photos of whiskey as I go along. And I've got music is okay, and it's noticeable in the background. I might turn it down a little bit. Can I do that? But I can bump off the music. If not, I just thought it'd be, maybe some people don't want to hear me just with my snout in a glass. It's like a pig hunting for truffles. So yeah, that is Siren Bay 18. In truth, I thought I was going to say a lot more about it. It's very good. It's earthy, muddy, a bit cloying, a bit clay-like. There's a little bit of like brown sugar. There's like a very faint spice, but it's very well-rounded. ABV 45.7. Can't really detect it at all. Yeah, it's very good. I would say 50 quid, well worth it. the RRP of, what was it, £70 now? I'm not sure. Don't know if I'd say go for it £70. There's other interesting bottles. But while I enjoy this, I've got a few other things, other talking points. Sugar Kitty, so technically iBev, Atom Group owns both Master Malt and Atom Labs at the same level. I think so. There's someone who's really kindly reached out to me at Master Malt and like asked if I had any questions and that, because I'm a big fan of Master Malt. I get a lot of my stuff from their shop. They tend to be one of the better price ranges in the UK. And I know a lot of people have their Prime delivery service, which is where next day delivery, and you pay so much for it, like 20 quid for a year, which is smart marketing by them because you're then tied in to buying with them. World Whiskey's Peat Wise. Is it Slurs? I've tried it and I was very impressed by it. But Slyers? I don't know. I'm the worst person at pronunciation. Last year, their first ever Bavarian peat release. So very, very going to start starting on it. Very terroir in a way. That would do. No music here. That's good to know. I can kind of hear it in my headphones, but if that's, yeah, I can happily bin it. I think I know how now. I'm trying to get my money's worth out of Streamlabs. 70 miles for Somerton Whiskey Fest. Should I go? I would say yes, because everyone who I've heard who's been to a Somerton Fest have had a great time. Dan is just a legend. Like, he is such a super dude. What he's done, not only with Somerton Club, but also with, is it Whiskey Pioneer, the sample service, and the recycling of the little sample bottles and how they're much better for the environment. Yeah, if you can go, I would go. And 70 miles, that's not that bad. All right, Helen Andy coming in with earthy sweet smoke, waxy polished vanilla, muscovado sugar, some red fruit, slightly oily with a lingering finish. Yeah, I'm getting red fruits now you said it. It's now clicked in my brain. Yeah, well worth the 50 quid. So much so it's made me go through puberty just then. But yeah, no, I'm very much enjoying that tonight. I haven't put a score into it though, which I should have because that'd been helpful. And yep, Sugar Kitty, you're bang on right. Boutique whiskies in that as well. I don't know. There's also so many other brands they do. I really like Boutique Whiskey. At first I didn't, just because they're 50cl bottles and they were super pricey. But they kind of, I feel like the price has come down a bit. Maybe because it's now in competition with Master and Malt's own branded collection. Because they now do like the Master Malt, what's it called? Independent bottling releases, and they're all amazing value for money. So let's chat about a bit of whiskey news. You know, because I'm interested to hear your thoughts more than anything, and I'm just enjoying chatting to people about whiskey. You can tell no one around me likes to talk about whiskey, can't you? So how do I bring this back up? There we go. So the next, which I've heard very mixed things about people's thoughts on this, so I'd like to know what other people's thoughts are. Greg, yep, the Aerolite Lindsay, the anagram. What's that an anagram of? It's Ile Sank, isn't it? Can't remember. But yeah, that's another bottle owned by Master Malt, Atom Labs, all that jazz. What was that one? So the Boutique Whiskey are 375 milliliters bottles here in the States. Until they were, oh, I didn't know that. So they're having to change for the, I didn't know the law changed. That's good to know. So that won't affect, because I know you get 75cl, isn't it, in America? Most bottles by default are that, and we're like 5cl less. But yeah, but there's a lot to talk about. So this is the art. As you can tell, my speeching My speaking is not on top form tonight. So yeah, the Ardnahoe first release, it's a 5-year-old, it's all craft presented. Lots of people are very excited for it. Lots of people are very much like, they're charging 70 quid for the first release, which by inaugural releases, that feels quite cheap. Maybe that's just because I'm always been sat as an outsider. I've never chased any first releases. I'll save time there. And I know lots of people have put their money down. I think it was pre-sale now, or it's like you can order it now, but there's a big delay in delivery. Yeah, 5 years seems to be an age statement taking over these new releases. I think it's good that they waited for 5 years because they could have released at 3 years and I think it would have flown off the shelves. And Oily Whisky, I feel like can really, like PEATED beasts can just be flying at 3 years old. But yeah, I like what they've done. I really like the look of the bottle. Let's make it a bit bigger. Yeah, the bottle itself, really good looking, stunning bottle. It gives me a little bit of a Springbank vibe with the engraved letters along the side of the bottle. But yeah, interesting stuff. Lots of people have said they're not happy with it being 5 years. Lots of people are happy with the cost. So it's one that's really divided people, which I'm quite surprised about. Let's get that slightly bigger. There we go. Frank saying he's hoping to taste some when he's there on Islay. I hope you do and do report back. Helen and Andy, lands tomorrow. Does it? Because I've heard lots of people have ordered it and then they're not getting it for like 2 weeks. Alan got 2 on order. So you're pro 5-year-old at £70, which with whiskey, that's not bad now, which is a strange thing to say. It's really not on reflection. It was probably from being on the chat with Kevin on Let's Talk Whiskey. It was one that I was tempted by when he discussed about what they were doing. It did lure me in. It's the newest new release that I've been engaged with. Shukati, so 700 milliliters now allowed in the US, and they're getting some more foreign bottles that way. And some of the JD bottles are 700. All right. It's always felt like we were getting a raw deal when you were getting slightly more, but you were obviously having to pay more because of like import tax and all that lot. But like with Lefroy 10, the ABV you get is higher, which doesn't feel fair because Lefroy 10 needs higher ABV. Whiskey Wars, great to see you here, mate. Fantastic channel. Do check him out. Just his like battles of bottles against each other. Really, it's like I love Whiskey Tube, and I love going around finding new channels because I know what it's like to be a new channel, and it's very daunting. It's great fun, and it's such a thrill. But like, he's been going for almost as long as I have now, and his videos, I'm just like, I think the whole battling bottles against each other is a great way to measure a whiskey via comparison. But anyway, check him out. I don't like the price on these new young bottlings from new distilleries. I think I'll wait on some for the price to drop and the quality to hopefully improve. I'd love to try this one, but it is a lot of money. It's 70 quid very much is I've got to do an awful lot of research into this whiskey. So that does kind of tie in with the whole value bang for buck, and 70 quid for me is not quite that. Yep, £70 for an age statement inaugural release is fair. And I think it is, like, compared to some of the others that come out. The bottle numbers people are talking about as well, there's loads, and then apparently it's going to be a flipper's nightmare because isn't there hundreds, like thousands of bottles being released, a lot more than normal. Could be wrong on that. Don't hold me to that one. I've not fact checked that. I'm just going by what I see in WhatsApp groups. I agree. I was afraid they'll price it way higher. Yeah. Waiting for reviews and probably grab a standard release once it's out. That is very much my approach. I always much rather wait because while it's exciting getting on the hype train, and I know for like Whiskey Tube, that'd be great to do like from a numbers perspective to get new bottles and get videos out quickly. But we know I'm not quick. So hopefully that's not why you come to Jeff Whisky. Well, my wife says I am, but that's a different story. What's Tony saying? We're starting to get 700 with the most recent TTB rule. Isn't that what badgers get? Oh, no, that's TB. So yeah, interesting. A lot of thoughts coming on this. Hell's with so from Ardnahoe, but ours is coming from the whiskey shop. Oh, nice. So when you get yours, you'll have to crack it straight away and let me know. Is that a beer in your pocket? Don't know your name. I would love to know your name because I do keep saying out loud, is that a beer in your pocket? And for people passing outside my window, it must be a strange thing to hear. 2 to 3 weeks delivery from the distillery, or pick it up tomorrow from the whiskey shop. I didn't know the whiskey shop released the stock yet. I was wondering if when I get to my next bottle, they did a deal with Oily Whisky and if that would be included, but I'll get to that. The import tax is so small, it's nothing. I wasn't aware of that. I assumed that added a hefty chunk. $2 to $3 for a whole bottle. The difference is the amount of liquid in the bottle. I assumed like the import tax, that was always my thinking behind why I'd say Japanese whiskey was always so pricey, but I think that's been built up on the hype train. Nearly pre-ordered 2 this morning, but settled on RC. I can't say it, but Mekill Tours. I've not tried one, but they are like lighting up. GlenAllachie, obviously, they know what they're doing, and I think it's a really smart move of them. DPD have Alan's bottle. Good luck to you. I hope DPD's better for you than they are here. Yeah, lots of great chat. So yeah, lots of people seem quite interested in this. On that mention of GlenAllachie, I'm quite delayed in the chat, so I'm sorry I can't quite keep up. Helen's saying 70,000 bottles. Not too bad. Not a bad little release. I love you for not being quick. Yeah, slow and steady. Tortoise approach. She was only making a comment about my driving. I drive a Yaris, so I am proper granddad driver. Drinks Whiskey, great to have you here, mate. It's impossible to keep on top of all the new distilleries and releases. I know a lot of folk are looking forward to this, but I'm the same. Happy to wait. Auction likely the way to go for cheap pickup. It's great that the auction now, lots of bottles are coming under value. Yeah, I can't really say any more than that. I've not personally dived into auctions because I fear that'd be a slippery slope. I nearly did for the Kilkerran port release, and I would do it again I would join for that, port another bottle of that. Yep, I have no clue how you pronounce it. I'm hoping someone. So you've gone for Mick Litor, which is how I would. Yeah, I'm the same boat as you, or Mikkeli, but yeah, I'm the worst at pronunciation. Australia, Finland, huge import tax. Canada, not very good, but US is minimal. And then the shipping cost is where the real downfall. Yeah, to ship anything out of following Brexit and all that lot. Shipping anything out of the UK is a nightmare now. There we go. We've got confirmation. Mikkell Tour. Okay, that's a lot easier. I've got to try and remember that. So yeah, so Ardnahoe, interesting to hear your thoughts. It's not one I'm going to buy, but it's one I'm going to keep my eye on. So then next, keeping on that Mikkell Tour boat, just a quick touch on the GlenAllachie Rebrand, because I've not done a proper dive into this, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I've seen a lot more backlash against it. I know I'm personally not the biggest fan of how they look. I never really liked how they looked previously with the Flintstones font, but now they're releasing all these single cask releases, or they're special releases anyway. They look amazing. So if anyone's interested in chucking their thoughts, I would love to discuss branding, but I know branding's not everyone's jam. Certainly it's mine, which is one of the reasons why I did buy the Siren Bay on the label alone. I know I'm a sucker. Is your wife moaning about money you spend on whiskey? No, she is the worst advocate for me to buy whiskey. She very much knows that this is my hobby, and she will encourage me to buy even more bottles than I already have. If there's something I've been looking at online, so I'll put something in my basket. I'll think about it maybe for like a week. I'll go through thousands of reviews, weigh up like the cost per liquid, and then she'll be like, nah, just buy it. So, but I'm really much a penny pincher. All my videos go on about how much of a bargain hunter I am. So yeah, she never moans, she only encourages, which is possibly more dangerous. So the GlenAllachie. Let's make this larger again somehow. There you go. So it's pretty so there's a lot of fans I've seen about the old branding. I was surprised because I think lots of people wasn't really a fan of it, but they're a fan of the liquid. Maybe I know most people don't like change as well. Like working in design myself, change is a hard battle to earn, but it's got to be something that is earned. But yeah, the single cast things I'm a big fan of. The font I'm a big fan of. But yeah, interesting to hear people's thoughts. Seeing it in people's hands and the photos that you see on Instagram and that now, I'm more appeased to it. I think when they first released that pastel color photo on the barrel, that to me didn't represent GlenAllachie. GlenAllachie needs something strong, powerful, punchy, really reflect the cask-led spirit. Nope, I've not tried the turbo. That apparently seems to be the best one though. The turbo is the one that I've had my eye on. But yeah, no, unfortunately I've not tried it. I don't think I've tried any. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. I'll have to go through my spreadsheet. Does everyone else keep a spreadsheet of the whiskey they've tried? Like I used to keep little either paper notes or notes on my phone, but I've now put it in a spreadsheet. So I'm hoping I'm not the only one. Given how much like the was it Mikil Tour? I want to say like Mikil Hucknor or something, but you like the branding. The GlenAllachie Rebrand was a bit disappointing, but overall better than the old style. Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, and that's I think the most important thing. Want to swap now? Is this swapping whiskey or is this like swapping wives? Like I don't have a bowl, I don't have my keys on me, so I'll leave you to that, Alan. Greg, I agree with what you said. Thanks. I can't remember what I said now. As you can tell, the lights are getting to me. But whiskey wise, for now, I'm not convinced with Billy's work on the range. Really? And a lot of the tasting notes I read confirm it. So it's not clicking personally for you, or do you think it's a bit subpar? GlenAllachie for me is not, I don't rate it as highly as others. Controversially or not, it's never been like a high thing for me, but read a few good Vance about Vance. Who's that? Vince Vance refrigeration. Yeah, that's a strange office joke there. Why not be consistent and use the gold and the brand name? Yep, I completely agree. They have it on the 21 and they have it on their old branding. Missed opportunity to stand out. 100% agree. Like if you look on the bottles in the top left hand corner, or the ones on the right, next to where you got the gold 12, the GlenAllachie wording could stand out a lot more. It's very poor color contrast, so that wouldn't pass contrast standards for like accessibility. And then you got a huge gap to the left below GlenAllachie logo and to the left of the age statement. They could have done something really good there. They got the little embossed thing, but if they had either that embossed icon white so you could see it, or yeah, no, it's a bit of a strange one. Let me see if I can appear again. The joys of sharing this fab pastime. No complaints when either of us buys a bottle. That's the dream. Menno, great to have you here. You're never late to the party. You're always here right on time. I can't remember what the next thing to talk about is now. I've enjoyed. There we go. I'm now back onto topic. So this was dropped, like, look at me coming in hot here. This was dropped 6 hours ago, maybe now. 5-6 hours ago. Really messed up my notes. So this is Frank. I don't know if you want a surprise. Look away now. But is it Rock and Dole? The Bruichladdich like music festival they do during Feis Ile. They've announced their bottles. They're not cheap, but they look stunning. Like, that's their Instagram post they released. I did briefly speak to Graham, who works there. Graham Brown, absolutely sound dude, like a real gem. How do I hide current? There you go. Yeah, really nice looking bottles. Greg's very much disagrees with me. I think so. They're very much leaning towards the 90s and early 2000s, which is definitely my age bracket. And yeah, I love the Port Charlotte. It looks very Joy Division. And there is, yeah, again, another fan for not liking the Bruichladdich. See, I really like all the colours. It looks like an old, who was the artist who did, not clip art, not pop art, whatever it is, some collage artist. My pure knowledge fails me. Love the Port Charlotte design, but the price, yep, I really love it. There is a secret message in there. I haven't been able to deduce it. It's to do with no spoilers, but like the date or something. Not sure, but yep, completely agree on the comment about the price. So the Bruichladdich bottle, the 10-year-old like laddie bottle, that's £100. It's matured in bourbon, saltines, it sound like I said then, Austrian dessert wine, and XPX casks. So it sounds good, but it is a bit. Roy Lichtenstein, is he the one who did the aeroplane BAM one? Could be. I did art, but I'm not down. Love the Port Charlotte bottle. Yeah, I completely be the Port Charlotte bottle is my favorite out of the two. I did say if there's any bottles lying on the ground at the end of it, I'll happily pay for postage. You know, so I'd love to do a design review of the bottle because the liquid is too much money for me. But with that Port Charlotte, so it says celebrate. Is it a 20-year-old? I'm not sure. I peeled it off their Instagram. 20 years of a heavily peated spirit, but I don't know if that's a 20-year-old or not. I'm sure I'll be corrected. Aged in bourbon and saltine casks. It looks stunning. I'm sure it is stunning, but it's 225 quid. Way beyond me. Yeah, it looks stunning, and I'm sure also the website is using the font New Frank, and that's a great Adobe font. Like, that's how sad I am with fonts. So yeah, I'll quickly. Reb, great to see you here. Do you remember the failed Windows? Yep, the tile phones. That is exactly it. Yeah. Oh, when my Windows went full for the flat design, the flat UI, everything was like block tiles and bright colors. That is bang on the money. That is. Maybe that's why I like it. So yeah, a bit. There we go. 24-year-old. So for 24-year-old, 225. That's not bad. With it salted out, as in the cask finish. Is it saltines? I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's a sherry cask, or is it a wine cask? There you go. Graham coming in with the knowledge. It's a 20-year-old. So 20-year-old for 225 years. That's pretty like in the range of what they cost for now. It is too much for me. But again, Graham, if you see an empty bottle lying on the floor, you know, I'll pay for a pigeon to carry it back. So yeah, so that's hot off the press. So, and if anyone's going, like Frank, you're going to Feis Ile, I'd love to hear if you're going to, is it Rocken? Can't pronounce it now. Let me check my notes. I did make a note how to say it. Rock'n'Doll. Like, the whole design of that is great, and like the music festival really speaks to me. So maybe one year, maybe my 40th, I'll do that. But anyway, time's eluding me. We've not got long until to jump to the real show, and that is the bottle I'm currently on the go with now, and that is the Lagavulin 13 Feis Ile 2021 bottle. So it's 45.7%, and currently, I'm sorry, I should grab a quick drink. Yeah, I think the deal's still on the Whiskey Exchange, where you can buy this or the Kalila for Shield 2021 bottle, and you get 100 quid off. But you got to buy another Isla bottle. So I brought this beauty. I couldn't resist. The Lagavulin 13-year-old, because it's Lagavulin. I love Lagavulin. And it's finished in port casks, and I love port casks. So this was my jam. I bought Ardbeg 10, which was a bit more expensive than RRP on the Whiskey Exchange. But it kind of worked out that I spent £56 on this bottle when apparently it's released at 130. So I'm still feel like I got a bargain. Maybe I got suckered in. But yeah, this is one that got my no nonsense coin on this one. This is one that is really confusing. Like the port is very, very subtle. It says it's finished in port. So I don't know how long for, but yeah, it really tickles and pickles the nose. Rock and Dull. Okay, I was close. I'll take that. I'm going to copy that, and then I know how to say it. Looks like EKG. Yeah, results. I can see that. Is it a Joy Division album? I think it looks like that. Yes, Frank. It's the best of them all. So next year, can you take me along with you? I'll go in your suitcase. Yeah, so the port is very subtle. There's very lots of pepper. The ABV is quite punchy at 45.7. It possibly does ABV higher than that. I popped it open last night, so it turned up yesterday morning, and then I opened it pretty much as soon as I finished work yesterday. So I weren't sure if there's bottle shock. But there's so much chili in this. You can kind of tell the port in the back burner. So it's very light port. And there are some dark fruits in there, dark smoky fruits. But it's kind of, for me, Lagavulin always has a fishy kipper note. And I feel like that's been diluted. No, so this was bought on the Whiskey Exchange. And yeah, if you bought another Isla bottle, they then took £100 off this bottle. So instead of it being 155 or whatever the RRP they were selling it for, which I think was slightly inflated again, it worked out including delivery £56. Not to spoil anything, so Graham says there's Roman numerals hidden in the Port Charlotte. I was looking, I had the image enlarged on my biggest screen I had, and I still couldn't see it. I'm the same as you, Greg. Never tried lager and port. Lager and port, that doesn't sound like a good mix either. But Lagavulin and port. Yes, and the Ardbeg Spectacular. I've been very good at resisting the Ardbeg hype. But the Spectacular, because is it finished in port or is it fully port matured? I think it's fully port matured, but it's just too expensive for me. I couldn't justify this expense. But it was the first one that nearly pulled me in, and now they released a Y2K one. I think that's going to be 125 quid. Yeah, and the 125 euros they're asking for the Spectacular. Yeah, the price is a bit ridiculous. I think Ardbeg are currently damaging their brand. Yeah, peated in port, which normally is my jam. But yeah, there's lots of chili pepper and black pepper and kind of that really overtakes it, which is really surprising. Did anyone try the Glen Scotia festival release, which was it white? Not white port. The 2021 or the 2021, that was amazing. Would be great when you join me next year. I would love to. I think Glasgow Whisky Festival is off for me this year, and then with the aim of 2025 being another big whiskey year for me. Yeah, chili con carne. Yeah, it hasn't got that. I did have that for tea last night though, and it's not that. It's not kind of that meaty, almost amarettic, oily, creamy chili. It's very much like pepper, like the flakes that you get. Thank you, Mena. I knew you would know. The music man would know. Yep, 2 bottles at Glen Scotia White Port. Stunning stuff. Yeah, there's the White Port, and then there's also the Tawny Port. The Tawny Port one was the one that I loved, and I really regret not buying. Yeah, in 2020, which is the lockdown one, yeah, because our honeymoon was cancelled because of all the lockdowns. And then I had a sample from, was it the Somerton Festival did an online tasting, and they had a sample of that for their festival. But yeah, that was banging. But also the recent White Port is meant to be amazing. I think I've tried it, and I think I got notes on it, but I can't remember. But yeah, we're ticking down to the final moments. Again, huge thank you for joining. Hopefully me snipping away didn't sound great. Same for you. No Glasgow Whisky Festival, but I'm planning to return next year with a week on Ireland. See, that's how you do it. There is the Welsh Whisky Festival, which sounds amazing. It sounds more than a festival, more of an experience. But that's a 4.5-hour drive for me. And then I'll have to like book hotels to stay either side. Yeah, it's really hard to get past that chili note, which is a shame. A Pashil exclusive bottling of 6,000 bottles, finished in port seasoned American oak cask. So it's not in proper port casks either. It's just ones that. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Almost sent it flying. Yeah, £56, possibly underwhelmed at the moment. The pour I had yesterday was very almost Talisker-esque. There's a lot more salt. There's a lot more maritime. Maybe it just needs a bit of time to develop. I've had this in my glass now for over an hour, and it's not really developed much since I first got it. I was looking at the Kalila, so it was a Pashil Kalila 2021 bottle, so I'm assuming they didn't sell very many in 2021, or they were too overpriced, so they're now panicking. It's got that Lagavulin finish now. Now I've stopped like sipping it, or maybe it's because I'm coming off the Siren Bay. There is that Lagavulin briny, fishy note, which is something that I truly love about that distillery, and I don't get off any other Islay to that extent. Blend of PX, bourbon, and peated cask. Very nice for an Irish. Excuse me, which one was that? No, I was in a chat with Martinez. Is it Martinez? Always too overpriced. Yep. My thinking was a cash strength Lagavulin, 13-year-old age statement, and port. I had to try it, so I don't regret buying it. £56, I think is a fair price, but I think I would be cheesed off if I spent, say, 70 quid on it, or the 155, 160 they were selling it at. I could change my mind as the bottle goes on. I know the latest bottle of Lagavulin 16 I didn't get on with it at first. It was kind of, the second bottle I have, didn't get on with it at first. And then as the bottle got down, it just got better and better. But now that's what, £65 you can get it as the cheapest in the UK if you find a good offer. Most places are 70. So under the Lagavulin 16 price. And also Lagavulin 8, that's creeping up in price now. I picked mine up for like £38. And I think I've seen it 50 quid some places now. But yeah, I'm glad I got the Ardbeg 10 with it, because that was a bottle that was always on my list. They were selling it for 50 quid, which is too much. It should be, most places do it for like on and offer at 40 quid here in the UK. So it'd be interesting to hear what it's like worldwide, because it's very much a core bottle. Is that cash strength at 45.7? I've been told it is. I'm happy to be proven wrong. What did I say? Ignore me. The ABV is 56.1. So that 45.7 is way off. That is as you can see, that was me in a rush because this one, oh, there we go. Now it zooms in on the wrong side. The Siren Bay is 45.7. So this, I'm going to hide that and hide my shame as I made a mistake. This is 56.1% ABV. So yeah, a bit punchier. Best peated port. Yep, this is my jam. A Benriach 17-year-old Solstice. So it's now Brown and Foreman, and you're not a fan of Brown and Foreman. It's good to know. Good to know. Yeah, Benriach is one I've not really dived into. £56 a cracking price for such an interesting dram. So that's €65, and you can grab Redbreast 12. I love Redbreast 12, but that's gone up in price a lot. Yep, you're not wrong, Frank. Creeping up is not the correct phrase. Yeah, so obviously we all know about Lagavulin just absolutely blowing their load and just turning a really well-priced, possibly underpriced bottle to now go way beyond whatever. Some people, is it 110? I don't know, but it's always on sale now because no one's buying it, which is great. But yeah, the 8 is getting more expensive now, which is a shame because I'm really enjoying the Lagavulin 8. Single rum cask Glen Scotia. That sounds amazing. Ah, sugar puffs. When you get sugar puffs on a whiskey, that is a magical moment. Like, I love cereal whiskey. I often get frosted Treddies and occasionally, what's the other one? Honey Loops, Cheerios. But yeah, sugar puffs, that's a certain kind of sweet. I don't believe it. 45.7. No, yeah, that was me, Greg. 56.1% ABV, which is a lot better. Dingle's the greatest port. Which one is that? I'm not going to attempt that. Grandstad and yeah, that one. Tawny Port cast finished. Love Tawny Port. Strawberry shortcake in a bottle. Fantastic. And Mena, you've seen the hide the pain, Harold. Now get ready for the hide the shame, Jeff. There's no shame here. Well, no, there's a lot of shame, but it won't stop me. I think the right price as around £70 mark for the 16. Yep, I think 70. That's a fair price. I think due to the nature of it, because it is coloured, isn't it? And it's also quite a low ABV. Is it 43 or is it 40? I think for me, £60. If they increased from the £59 they had it in the UK, or sale £49, if they increased it maybe 15 quid, I'll be fine. But to do so, and then the Talisker 18, I had that on my wish list for so long and I never justified the price. And for me, that's like salty Ribena. I love that whiskey. And then, yeah, now I no longer love it. It's beyond me. Only buy independent bottles from Diageo. I think that's a smart move to take. Now I've broke my bottle ban. I am well and truly off the rails. But yeah, great. I've just clocked the time. I think it's time everyone got a dram ready for the big show. Couple of last comments. Thank you for joining me. I really enjoyed this. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a ramble. The next live stream will be the Whiskey Tube Roundtable at the last Tuesday of the month, I believe. And hopefully that's got guests on, so I'll be a bit more diluted. Greg, as I often say, Jeff, but no one really cares. Wood Tech is ruining a lot of Scotch currently. Yeah, I think wood policy and how like the seasoning cast as well. I think it's a bit sideways almost, but I think that's a topic for another night. Yeah, well and truly, we'll see you in the VPub. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know ways I can improve this. I'm sure there's many ways. Thank you to everyone who's kind of got involved, chatted with me. Yeah, just real great fun. So yeah, enjoy the warm-up, grab your dram, get yourself comfy, and I'll see you in the VPub chat. Now, can I find the end stream button and do it smoothly? I don't think I can. I've got no ending video either, so on that, all the best, and cheers to the next one. Thanks. This is an awkward pause now because I didn't realize you got to click end stream twice. Cheers to all the Bottle Slap members as well. These are the 2 whiskies that you paid for, so thank you. Generally super grateful. See you all in the VPub. Cheers.